Hi Tubies, it's Thursday here on Pagan Perspective and it's the birthday of Pagan Perspective and Cara today. So happy birthday Cara and happy birthday Pagan Perspective. This week we are doing a special Get to Know You week where the regular viewers can find out more about us and the new viewers will have an introduction. And next week the subs will be introducing themselves with the same set of questions. So without further ado, and bearing in mind that Cara managed to get her video under 6 minutes, I'm going to try to keep these as short as possible. And I will post the questions in the box below as well, so you can read what they are as you're going along or reply. And also I will post a link to my personal channel should you wish to see more of me. So without further ado, here is the list of questions. Introduction. What is your YouTube name? It's Arienda Ravenheart and that is my craft name. How do you describe your religious belief to viewers? I call myself a solitary eclectic Wiccan. How long have you been a member of Pagan Perspective? Just over a year now. I've been a sub for most of that time, but recently we lost a few members of the regular team and therefore I am now a regular member. The childhood category then. What movie can you quote word for word? That would probably be Stand By Me, which is an adaptation of a Stephen King story. Which cartoon do you still watch? That would be Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, which my boyfriend recently bought me on DVD because I haven't seen it on TV for ages. Education. What word do you love the sound of? That would be papoose. I think that is a really funny word to say. What goals do you have for your religious education? Being a solitary, I would really love the opportunity to work with a coven or with a study group of witches, and eventually I'd also like to teach Wicca. Entertainment. The last sporting event you went to. Not really big on sports. Don't really enjoy anything sporty, to be honest, except I occasionally watch the tennis Wimbledon. But I did go to a football match that my friend was playing in a local team a couple of years ago now, so that shows you just how interested I am in sports. What song was unique to your family growing up? I found this one really hard to answer because I couldn't think of anything specifically, but Hi Ho Silver Lining had my nan dancing every single Christmas. So every time that comes on at Christmas I just remember her and it's hilarious. Funniest thing I've ever seen. Family and home life. First thing you learn to cook, that would probably be scrambled eggs, because I used to eat that religiously at my nan's house every weekend, and she finally taught me to make it for myself when I went back home. Which room in the house do you like spending most of your time in? I'd normally spend most of my time in the living room. Geography, the furthest you've ever travelled. A long time ago now, more than a couple of years ago, my aunt and uncle got married in St. Kitts in Jamaica, so that's the furthest I've ever been. The prettiest city you've been to, not so much of a city but a town or a village, is Meyerhofen in Austria. It's a really, really pretty little town. All log cabins and flowers. Health and food. What is your ideal comfort food? That would have to be cheese. I'm much more of a savoury person than I am sweet, so cheese and crackers is just great. If you could have a drink with someone from history, who would it be? That would probably be Lao Tzu, the philosopher. I use a lot of his work in my own practice as like meditation ideas and things like that. And I think having tea with him or something would just blow my mind. Philosophy, ethics and religion. What in today's society should be free that isn't? That one's easy for me. That would be university education. Other than your own religion, what religion do you find most interesting and why? That would probably be Buddhism, because I really admire the discipline of the mind that you have with Buddhism. When did you last go to a church that is not your own? Other than weddings or funerals, I've only ever been to a Christian church. And other than that, I haven't been to any other church or temple for, like a regular service, but I really would like to do that someday. Society. Have you ever been mentioned in the newspaper? I don't think I've ever been mentioned in like the local or the big spreadsheet news, but I have been mentioned in the school newspaper, so I guess that kind of counts. What do you feel strongly enough about to protest? Similar to Cara, I don't actually have any activist sort of things that I get up to, but I do a lot of charity work and I also do petitions as well, mainly for environmental reasons or for animal rights. That's the things that I get most involved with. Technology. Which piece of technology makes your life easier? That would probably be Google, because I think it's very underestimated, but seriously has improved the way that the internet works. Would you be willing to live off the grid? On my personal channel, which you can check out if you want, following the link below, I haven't really been posting many videos recently because I've been staying at my parents' house in the countryside, which has no internet connection. And so it's been a little bit like living off the grid, and it's okay for a while, but then eventually you really need to just get in touch with people, and the easiest and quickest way to do that is online, so I don't think I could hack it forever. Work. If you didn't need the money, what would you do for work? I really hope that someday I do actually get round to doing this, but I'd like to have an animal fostering centre where it's sort of like overflow or overspill from animal shelters. When they don't have enough room, they go to a foster home and then they look after the animals temporarily until they get a permanent home elsewhere. That is something I would love to do. What daily activities bore you? I can't stand washing up, and me and my sister fight constantly over who has to wash up, just because it's the least enjoyable activity in the house. And finally, the grab bag of questions: sunrise or sunset, and why? I'm much more of a sunrise person because it's so much quieter in the mornings. And if you had one superpower, what would it be and why? I would probably choose flying, because it's a great idea. I think everybody has looked at the birds at one point and just envied their freedom. And I'm quite a solitary person by nature as well, so I think being able to fly away when everything got a little bit too hectic would be brilliant. So, hope you've enjoyed hearing more about me. If you want to see more of me, as I say, after summer, when I'm not spending so much time down at the countryside, I will be posting more videos on my personal channel, which you can see at the bottom. I've also had a few new ideas for videos recently, and I'm really looking forward to getting those done. So, bear with me on my personal channel if you are following, and until next time, I will see you again on Pagan Perspective. Blessed be.